Hey everyone, I welcome you all to this video. And today in this video, we are going to discuss about left NT and right NT join. So first of all, let's talk about left NT join. Right. So when we write left NT join, then we mean that we want those records to be there in the output, which are present only and only in the left table. So let's understand with the help of an example that what does it mean, right? So this is our table 1 and this is the left table and this is our table 2 and this is our right table. So now let's say on the second page, let's write select star from table 1, select star from table 1, left join. We will simply write left join only. You can write left join or left outer join, right? So we will write select star from table 1 left join, table 2 on table 1 dot C1 is equal to table 2 dot C2, right? So actually this is the condition that we used when we were applying the left join or the left outer join. Now if we will apply a where condition to this statement, if after this statement we will write where, and you can write the name of any column from table 2, right? So where table 2 dot, let's say how many columns are there in table 2? So in table 2 we have column C1 and column C3. So you can write the name of any column. I am writing the name of column 3, let's say. So I am writing where table 2 dot column 3 is null. So this will generate an output which exists only, this will generate an output that will consist of records which exist only and only in the left table, right? How is it so? So let's understand that. So first of all, if considering these two tables, let's say first of all we want to apply the left join, assuming that we are applying the left join. So if we will apply the simple left join that we have discussed in the previous videos, so what will be the output? So the output will be this. Output will be this. Suppose since we have written select star, so we will get all the columns from both the tables. So in the first table we have C1, C2, in second table we have C1, C3. So I'm writing C1, C2 and C1, C3 here. So this will be the output. In the output, we will be having all the 4 columns, C1, C2 from first table, then C1, C3 from second table. If first of all, let's assume that we are not talking about left NT join, let's say we are talking about left outer join only. So what will be the output? So we will write the simple output that we have discussed in the case of left outer join. So you can see that this 1 will match with this 1. So we will get 1A, 1XA. So let's write it here. 1A, 1XA. Then again, this 1 will match. There is only one, right? Now the second one from column 1 of table 1 will match with this first one. So this will give 1B, 1XA. So 1B, 1XA. Now we have 2 here in the first column. So this will match with the first 2. So you will get 2C, 2MB. So we can write 2C in the first column, right? So this null will basically not match with any value in column 1 of table 2. Although we do have null in column 1 of table 2, but null doesn't match with null. So as we already discussed about it, so this null will not match with any value present in C1 column of table 2. But since in the beginning we are assuming that we are applying left outer join only, so whatever is present in the left table, that will go in the output. So you will see null D in the output. So I can write null D in the output. But since this null doesn't match with any value present in column 1 of table 2, so corresponding to this record null D from left table, we will get null null in the right table. So I will write null and null. Now again, let's talk about the next value. So we have 3 which is present only in the left table, and since in the beginning we are considering only left outer join to be applied, so we will see this 3e in the output because it is present in the left table, 3e. But since this 3 in the column 1 of table 1 doesn't match with any value in column 1 of table 2, so corresponding to all the columns coming from table 2, we will get null values. So we can write null and null here. Now, if I will talk about this 7, so this 7 exists in the column 1 of table 1, and we are considering that left outer join is getting applied. So 7DA will exist in the output. So you will see 7DA in the output. But since this 7 doesn't match with any value in column 1 of table 2, that's why corresponding to all the columns coming from the right table, we will get null values in the output. So we can write null, null. Now let's talk about the left anti-join. Now if you will look at the condition at the select statement that we have written here at the top. So in this select statement, we have applied a simple condition on the left outer join, and the condition is written in this where clause. So the condition that we have added is you have to show only those records where column 3 from table 2 is null. So if you will now have a look at the output, so if you will talk about the first record, so here column 3 is not a null. Then if you will talk about the second record, here also column 3 which is coming from table 2 is not a null. If you will talk about the third record, so here also column 3 from table 2 is not null. But in all these records that you can see here at the bottom, that is this record, this record, and this record. For these 3 records, we have column 3 from table 2 as null. So that's why in the output of left anti-join, you will see only these 3 records. These 3 that are highlighted here. These 3. I will put it in a box. These 3 out. These 3 columns you will see in the out. So it means that these records are corresponding to these 3 records are corresponding to those values in the column 1 of table 1 where the values are present only in the left table. And that is the meaning of left anti-join, right? So that's why we have written it in this way. And you can always find these type of questions in the interviews, and certainly these type of questions can be asked. So we will not see the first 3 records that I have cancelled here, but the one with this check will be there in the output. And in the upcoming session, we will discuss about this left anti-join in SQL Server. Now let's take one example to understand about the right anti-join as well. So when we say right anti-join, so it means right anti-join it means we want to see only those records that exist only in the right table. And this table 2 is the right table. And this table 1 is the left table. Left and right can be recognized by the select statement that we write. So let's write the select statement on the right hand side. And in order to understand the right anti-join, first of all, we will write the statement as if we are writing the statement for a right outer join, and then we will apply a where condition so that we will get the desired output for right anti-join. So I am writing select star from table 1 right join table 2 on table 1 dot C1 is equal to table 2 dot C1, right? Dot C1. And now I will write a where condition here. So I will write where, since we are talking about right anti-join. So corresponding to the values which are present in column C1 of table 2, whatever will be coming from the left table in the output will be having null values. All the columns from the left table will be having null values. That's why we can write any column name for table 1 to be equal to null in the where clause. So we can write where table 1 dot, you can choose any column. So we have 2 columns in left table. I'll choose, let's say, column 2. So, sorry, this was the table. So we have 2 columns in the left table. So you can choose any column from here. I'm choosing column 2. So I can write where table 1 dot column 2 is null. Right? So this will be the select statement to find the output. Now, since we have written select star, so we will get all the columns in the output from both. So we have C1, C2 and C1, C3. So let's write it here. So we have C1. First of all, let's write output. Then we have C1, C2. Then we have C1, C3. Sorry. All right. Now, let's consider, in order to understand the output, let's consider as if we are applying the right outer join. So first of all, let's consider that. If we will consider the right outer join is getting applied, so what will be the output? Let's see that. So first of all, this one will match with this one. So we will get 1 XA, 1 A in the output. So let's write it here. 1 XA and 1 A in the output. So we have written that 1 XA, 1 A. Now this same one will match with this second one in the column 1 of table 1. So we will get 1 XA, 1 B. So we can write 1 XA, 1 B. Now we have 2 in the column 1 of table 2. So this 2 will match with this 2. So we will get 2 MB and 2 C. So let's write 2 MB and 2 C. Now the second 2 in column 1 of table 2 will match with this 2. So this will give 2 NX, 2 C. So we can write 2 NX, 2 C. Now we have null value. So we have already discussed that whatever type of join it may be, null value will never match with null value. So, but since this null value is present in the right table and we are considering in the beginning that right outer join is being applied, that's why this null XO will come in the out. Null MO will come in the output from the right table. So we will write null MO. But since this null value in the column 1 of table 2 didn't match with any value in column 1 of table 1, that's why corresponding to null MO in the output, we will get null values from all the columns coming from the left table, for all the columns coming from the left table, sorry. So here we can simply write null and null. Again, let's talk about the next record. So we have 4. This 4 appears only in the column 1 of right table, and we are considering that right outer join is being applied, right? So we can write 4 XY in the output because it is present in the right table and we are talking about right outer join. So 4 XY in the output, and maybe I'll write it with black. So we have 4 XY. And now since this 4 is present only and only in the column 1 of the right table, it is not present in the column 1 of left table or table 1. That's why corresponding to all the columns coming from left table in the output, we will get null values. So we will write null and null here. Now again, let's talk about 5. So this 5 appears in column 1 of table 2 or the right table, but it doesn't appear in the column 1 of table 1. So since we are talking about right outer join, in the beginning we are considering that right outer join is getting applied, and then we will discuss about the output of the right anti-join. So then we can say that since it is the right table, so 5TF should be present in the output. So here we will write 5TF in the output. But since this 5 in column 1 of table 2 doesn't match with any value present in column 1 of table 1. That's why corresponding to all the columns coming from table 1 or left table in the output, we will get null values. That's why we will write null and null here. Now have a look at the select statement that we have written here at the top. We have written the same select statement as that of the right outer join, but we have provided one additional condition where C2 column value coming from table 1 is null. We want only those records to be there and out. So if I talk about the first record, then the first record C2 value is A. It is not null, so this will not be a part of the output. If I'll talk about second record, here C2 is B, so this will also not be the part of the output. If I'll talk about third record, here C2 column value is C, so this record will also not be the part of the output. If I'll talk about the fourth column, here C2 column value is C, which is not null. That's why this fourth column will also not be the part of the output. But if I'll talk about all other remaining records, you can see that the C2 column value is 0. It means this part written inside the box will be our output. This will be the output of the above select statement written along with the where clause. And this is the output of the right NT join. You can expect these type of questions in the interviews, right? So we have written the name of column C2 from table 1. You can write the name of any column coming from table 1 or the left table, right? And also we discussed that how do we decide that a given table is the left table or the right table. So whenever you are writing the join, like for example, the select statement, here we have written right join. So first the name of this table appears, table 1. So this is your left table. And then the table that you have written after the right join, so this is your right table. So may it be any join, may it be left join, may it be right join, may it be any join. So whenever you are writing the join, so the table that appears first will be your left table, and the table that appears after that, after writing the join, is your right table, right? So you can determine the left and right tables from there. Now, in the next session, we will take an example in Microsoft SQL Server to understand about these two types of joins, and this is again an important interview question, and you can expect this question in the interview. So I hope this video was helpful. We'll meet in the next session. Till then, thank you. Bye-bye.